You have probably seen plenty of drone footage from the war in Ukraine on your social media feeds, showing threats raining down from the sky, but what is happening on the ground level is just as wild and arguably even more important for the future of warfare. We are talking about fully autonomous robot ATVs running supply drops and casualty evacuations right in the middle of active combat zones. U.S.-based builder of autonomous vehicles called Forterra just revealed that more than 100 of their self-driving ground vehicles have been deployed in conflict zones in Ukraine for the past 9 months. So, according to Scott Sanders, the chief growth officer at Forterra and a former U.S. Marine officer, this is likely the largest deployment of autonomous ground vehicles in combat by any American defense tech company in history. True, he made a great point that you never really know how a defense technology will hold up until you throw it into the brutal realities of actual combat. This whole mission is funded by U.S. defense dollars and is part of a massive effort to modernize military tactics while supporting the Ukrainian resistance. Because aerial drones have created these massive no-go zones where any movement is instantly spotted and targeted, soldiers are desperate for ground-based autonomy. Sergeant Major Corey Wilkins from the U.S. Army explained it perfectly, saying there is simply nowhere to hide anymore, making human soldiers incredibly vulnerable to first-person view drones, mortars, and artillery. While Ukraine has been building its own uncrewed ground vehicles, or UGVs, they are usually battery-powered and can only carry up to 250 kilograms. Forterra stepped in with their Lancer vehicles, which are built on commercial Polaris ATVs. These things are gas-powered beasts equipped with custom-built sensor and compute stacks, and they can haul a massive 750 kilograms of cargo. One Ukrainian soldier even called it the most important UGV in the country for maintaining their defense, saying they are absolutely dying to get more of them. But it was not entirely smooth sailing at the beginning. The vehicles were initially a bit too tailored to the high-end, pristine requirements of the U.S. Army, and they had to be heavily modified for the muddy, chaotic reality of Ukraine, like adding Starlink satellite internet antennas. Since last October, these machines have driven over 2,500 miles across more than 1,100 missions, hauling a staggering 777,440 pounds of total weight and completing 52 critical casualty evacuations. Of course, they have lost a few along the way, especially when they get bogged down in deep mud where Russian forces can easily pick them off. Forterra, which has raised over $500 million in venture funding from firms like XYZ Venture Capital, is learning massive lessons about electronic warfare and remote software updates. Right now, Ukrainian soldiers are mostly teleoperating these vehicles because they are just too valuable to lose, and the autonomy is not quite ready to identify and react to unexpected enemy ambushes on its own. It is a tough challenge. Relying on open-source data is impossible when you are dealing with minefields and weapon systems, but competitors like Scout AI, which just raised $100 million, and startups like Field AI are racing to solve it. The biggest request from the front lines right now is simply to make them cheaper, because attrition is a permanent fact of this modern battlefield.